This is music and this is gonna get symphonic. Welcome to another First Impressions video. In these videos, I share with you my first impressions of the many blind buys I've picked up lately. Now, symphonic metal, I have to be honest, it's one of those metal genres that just don't click with me. I tend to find it cheesy, I tend to find it boring and just unengaging, and I tend to zone out whenever I listen to symphonic metal. And this is because while the orchestral parts tend to be interesting, the rock and metal instrumentation quite often, pardon the pun, tends to play second violin to the orchestral part. So very often it's just like meh riffs, sometimes even just power chords, just to, add a bottom to the orchestral parts. And I also tend to find the vocals boring. So yeah, it's a genre I just don't like in general, but I try to keep an open mind. So, over the last couple of months, I've picked up a bunch of symphonic metal CDs just to check them out and see if I like him. Maybe there is some symphonic metal I like, maybe some branches of it. I do know that I like symphonic black metal because it retains the intensity of black metal. So, yeah, let's see. Because I've been listening to a bunch of symphonic metal albums, starting with this one here, Ares Descendant, uh, from the Ashes of Deceit. Visually, this is freaking awesome. This cover artwork is just awesome. It screams epicness. So, as far as I understand, this is a two-person project. You got the two gentlemen there, and these guys are fantastic musicians. There's nothing wrong with the musicianship. Also, the vocals are actually freaking brilliant. I love the vocals on here, that is for sure. Great guitar solos too, a great sense of composition and haunting and quite emotional orchestral parts. Objectively, this is good music. I just don't enjoy it. I zone out when I listen to it. I don't enjoy it. It doesn't engage me. And this has to do again with the tendency for the rock and metal parts being kind of, secondary, if you know what I mean. Most of the riffs aren't engaging to me, a lot of power chord stuff too. You have one or two songs, maybe three songs, that have more of a power metal feel to them. They're up tempo, they are intense, and I enjoy those songs. But overall, while this is objectively good music, I just don't enjoy it. And I know it's my problem or the problem is me. It's not the music at all. It just doesn't engage me. So unfortunately, I had to take an L on this one. And that's why it's also still in the jewel case, because I'm not gonna be listening a whole lot to this one. So I'm gonna VCLT this out to someone that I'm pretty sure will enjoy it, because there's no need for me to sit on something I won't listen to. So yeah, sadly, I had to take an L on this one. Up next, we have this one here, uh, Archaeonyx, I think, uh, Ancient Myth, with OB strip and all. So yeah, obviously this is also symphonic metal, but these guys take the energy level to the max. Basically, these guys go over the top. So you have that uh, I would say kind of inspired by early to mid, just say 80s, 80s power metal along the lines of Halloween and Blind Guardian and stuff, um, which I really like. It has that energy, so it's up tempo. You got crazy guitar solos, fast riffing, bass and drums, awesome as well. So it has that energy. The songs are fast, over the top. The vocals, she's a soprano, operatic vocals. She starts out in the first couple of songs doing more of a rock style of singing, but then she goes just into operatic singing with her soprano voice. Unfortunately, she's not one of those sopranos that hurt my ears. So this is over the top, and I really like it. Towards the middle, there is a bit of a lull where they kind of fall into that tendency for the rock and metal instrumentation to be a little bit meh. So it's only like a couple of songs, so I can live with that. Overall, I actually enjoy this one. There's even a version of Der Hölle Rache kocht in meinem Herzen, which is insane. You have to hear it. Uh, I actually like it. It's very cheesy, this, but it all just works very well. Apart from those kind of more like songs in the lull towards the middle, most of the songs I actually really enjoy because it's just over the top. Now, this one comes with an entire bonus disc with orchestral renditions of the songs. So, with the metal renditions, of course, you have, rock guitars and drums and, the vocals and, of course, the symphonic elements too. But there's an entire CD with just like symphonic orchestral renditions of the songs. And I almost enjoy that more than the metal versions of the songs. Is this kind of romantic sounding orchestral symphonic music? Um, but I enjoy it. This is a fun album. This one is staying in my collection for sure. Up next, I don't know if I consider this to be prototypical symphonic metal, to be honest. East of Eden, and this is Forbidden Fruit, First Peace, also with the Obi here, a bit of an EP. It's not as symphonic as the two other CDs I've talked about so far. This is more like focused on violins and strings because one of the key members is a violinist, but it is kind of epic sounding for sure. And this is not just power metal sounding either. You have like hard rock elements and heavy metal elements, even some parts that sound kind of funky. Um, so there's a lot going on here in the rock and metal instrumentation too. But yeah, this is great. I enjoy this. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. The vocals are also more like rock belting style vocals. And there's so much interesting stuff going on here, both in the rock instrumentation and the violins. Actually, very cool. Violinist here, a great violinist, and just awesome stuff. I enjoy this one for sure. This is worth checking out. This is, to me, I would consider this kind of progressive music more so than symphonic metal, if I'm being honest. But I know a lot of people lump this in with symphonic metal. This is great. This was another very enjoyable album to me. Up next, we have this one here. This is Anthems of the Resilient by Fathomless Skywalker, which is a great band name. This is symphonic power metal, even more over the top, I would say, than Ancient Myth. You got operatic female vocals, you got fast power metal songs, insane shredding, and just intense riffs. And you also have the symphonic part, orchestral part, also pretty damn awesome. This is over the top, and that's why I like it. The vocals are over the top, the power metal side of things over the top, very cheesy, but this is um, a good strong blue cheese, if you know what I mean. I like this, and it starts out a little bit dialed back, actually, the first song, but then the second song, which is called "The Loyal Paladins" in the plural, already there they just kick into insanity, and absolutely love it. There's another cool song called "Pirates of the Fathomless Sea." Um, you got Dystopia Survivors. You got The Proud Warrior. That's a great song too. That's most of this is kind of leans into more like European, again, the early style, like Halloween inspired European power metal. And I think they sing in English in most of the songs too. But the Proud Warrior leans more into their Japanese heritage. I mean, this is clearly, you can hear it from the get-go. It's a Japanese band, uh, Japanese power metal, Japanese symphonic metal. They seem to just go over the top, and for some reason, I really dig that. So this was another win. I really enjoyed that album. Now we got some, I believe this is a Norwegian band. This is Mantric Momentum, and it's called Alienized. Also a pretty cool like package visually. So these guys are sometimes lumped in with symphonic metal too. It definitely has an epic vibe to it, and you do have some lush symphonic parts, but I would consider this to be kind of more like melodic modern, well, melodic with a punch to it, modern metal. A lot of people consider this power metal too, but this doesn't sound at all like a modern power metal, because this is kind of mid-tempo. It's heavier. It has more of a punch to it. It's not wimpy. Is basically what I'm trying to say. And this is cool because you got some really, really well-defined and punchy riffs. And you got elements from groove metal, heavy metal, power thrash, power metal too, of course. It's quite melodic. It's epic sounding. You got fantastic vocals on here too. The guy can sing. Uh, the vocals, this guy's vocals are actually pretty similar to the vocalist from um Aria's Descendant, and I did like the vocals a lot on that album. But here, I just like everything on the album. I think this is a great album. I would consider this probably, yeah, some kind of progressive, modern, melodic metal, but still with quite an edge to it. So I think if you like Anubis Gate and that style of progressive power metal, I think you'll enjoy this. I actually think this is awesome. I wasn't sure whether I was gonna like it. That's why I kept it in the jewel case. But I love this. This is freaking awesome. Not really symphonic metal, I would say, although a lot of people categorize them as such. Okay, up next we have this one here. This was a gift from a good friend of mine who is a big fan of symphonic metal. This is Schönberg, and it's called Resurrection Sigma, also with the Obi here. So, yeah, it's not super symphonic in the sense with a symphony orchestra and stuff. There is that dimension to it, but this is more like neoclassical power metal. It's so a lot of the symphonic also lies in the way they play the rock and metal instrumentation, the guitar solos, the guitar riffs. They even lift like melodies and parts and themes from real symphonies and stuff, just to pay homage to them. This is not unusual, I've learned, in Japanese rock and metal that if you want to pay homage to an artist you like, you will actually use some of their stuff, or sometimes just something that approximates it, that sounds a little bit like it, or you will use something that they composed. So that's a great honor, I think, if a Japanese metal band, if they use a riff that sounds like yours, or it's a riff that you came up with, or a melody, or something like that. So take that as a huge compliment. Uh, this is awesome. I like this. Neoclassical power metal. Um, they kind of, yeah, I'm sorry. They they kind of make Ingve look bad, if you know what I mean. No, I mean, I'm just joking, but it's again, they've opted for an over-the-top approach, neoclassical guitar solos, riffs, fast power metal parts. Again, kind of leaning into the more 80s style of Halloween-inspired power metal. So I enjoyed this one. I need to give this one more listens for sure, but I definitely enjoyed it, and I had heard a couple of songs already, so I knew I was gonna like this, uh, and I did. Great stuff, symphonic, neoclassical power metal. Cheesy, but again, a good cheddar cheese this time. And then we have this one here. This is Shiver of Frontier, and this one is called Crystal in My Heart. Also with the Obi. So this is kind of similar in its approach to the symphonic metal part to Schoenberg, in that it's more like power metal with neoclassicisms in it, and these guys also lift some themes and stuff from some actual symphonies. It sounds like that. For sure, again, huge compliment to the original composers and stuff. Fast, over the top, cheesy. This time it's a good Gouda cheese. So we're talking good cheese here. Fast, cheesy, over the top, neoclassical power metal with vocals that are also just over the top. The guy's a fantastic vocalist. He has this typical like 80s uh, Japanese heavy metal singing style that a lot of guys had back in the 80s, but he just takes it to the nth degree. And I really like his vocals. I think some people might find his singing style maybe a bit wimpy because he does operate within a higher register, but I like it. It's intense and it fits the music. And up last, we have this one here. This is Spirits Rising. I don't know why I almost said Spirits of Resilience. I mixed this up with the Fathomless Skywalker one. Um, so, I mean, both of these here are kind of like EPs, and they're very similar in style. So obviously, this one is over the top, uh, cheesy, but again, a strong, tasty cheese. Um, Power metal with the neoclassicisms and symphonic leanings. Very intense, a very enjoyable listen, both of these. Just a good, fun listen. And I kind of realized that, okay, there is one kind of branch of symphonic metal that I seem to actually enjoy, and that's represented by all of these here. Uh, Japanese symphonic power metal. And I also know why I enjoy it because they go over the top with everything. The rock and metal instrumentation gets to shine along with the symphonic and neoclassical parts, along with the vocals, along with everything. Everything gets its place in the spotlight, and it all works well together too. It's over the top, the songs are fast, they have that 80s Halloween inspiration, that 80s European power metal from before power metal became wimpy, and it's fun. A key word for me, it's fun. It's a fun listen. I enjoy it. I have a blast listening to it. And then of course you got East of Eden, but to me that's more like progressively leaning rock and metal, and this one here, Mantric Momentum. It's more like progressive power metal too to me. But this one was great as well. And yeah, I took a loss on this one. Just didn't click with me. But that just means that there's probably someone out there who's gonna be happy to be able to add a symphonic metal CD that they like to their collection. As usual, check out these albums yourself. See if you like them. You know, maybe you will take a win on this one. You probably will, because I know I'm the problem here. Check them out on your own. See if you like them. For now, thanks for watching.